El desarrollo personal ha sido una parte fundamental de mi vida. Hoy te cuento cómo me ha transformado. Esto es mi diario de inglés británico con Shandon, profesor nativo de inglés británico. Un podcast para hispanohablantes que quieren progresar profesionalmente en el Reino Unido. Vale, empecemos. Welcome to episode 28 of the podcast. Another day, another episode. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be speaking about a topic that's very special to me and very important to me. It's a topic that has changed my life. This topic has become more popular in general around the world over the past few years. And I really strongly believe, it's one of the most important parts of living a good life. The topic I want to speak about today is personal development. I want to speak about what it is, my personal journey with personal development, why I believe it's so important, and how you can include personal development in your life. So let's go. First of all, let's speak about what personal development is. So what is personal development? Many people will give different definitions of personal development, and I don't think there's just one correct definition of personal development. But here's how I define personal development. I believe that it is the act of actively trying to improve yourself and your life. So let me just focus in on a couple of important words in that definition. First of all, actively. That means doing it on purpose and giving deliberate effort towards the act of improving yourself. And second, that word improve. That means to make things better. So making something in your life better. Personal development can take many different forms, and it can involve improving any area of your life. This can include things like mindset, health, discipline, or work ethic, but also things like emotionality, kindness, empathy, and patience. All of these things, if improved, will allow you to develop as a person and will make you and your life better. So they're all valuable in their own ways. But that's how I define personal development. That's what I believe it is. The act of actively trying to improve yourself and your life. So let me tell you about my journey with personal development then, which has been a fairly long journey so far, and it's still continuing and will continue for the rest of my life. I've always tried to improve myself for my whole life, for as long as I can remember, in lots of different ways. But specifically, my personal development journey started in 2017. It started after a hard period of my life, a very difficult time for me. After that period, I had decided that I had had enough of things going badly, and I decided that I wanted to start deliberately improving myself and my life, and stop just letting circumstances determine my life and start taking control of my own life. What was the first thing that I did? I started by reading books, and the first book I read was called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It's a very, very famous book in the personal development world. Starting by reading this book gave me new ideas, new perspectives, and allowed me to see how I could get better. So this was the first personal development book I read many years ago, 8.5 years ago. I then continued reading lots of different books after this as well. Then I moved on to listening to podcasts as well. because my uncle had suggested this to me. So I started listening to podcasts. First on YouTube, then on a different podcast app. These podcasts helped me to motivate myself, helped me to think bigger, and allowed me and encouraged me to want to be better in every area of my life. I listened to podcasts with motivational speakers and with business people as well. And they were a really important part and are a really important part of my personal development. I've learned so much from books and podcasts as well. After that, I started meditating. So I started doing meditation. This really helped me, especially at the beginning when I started my journey of personal development. Meditation helped me to regulate my emotions. It helped me to be calmer and to be more present as well. It was extremely difficult. It was so difficult to meditate at first. But with time, with deliberate effort, and with focus and discipline, it got easier over time. And as I said, it helped me to regulate my emotions, be calmer, and be more present. Over the years, my personal development work has taken lots of different forms. Over the past 8.5 years, since I started my journey, I've constantly been trying to improve different areas of my life. In different points of my life, the focus is different. Sometimes I'm focusing on my work, sometimes my mindset, sometimes other things. But no matter what, I'm always trying to and have been always trying to improve myself over the past 8.5 years. This has included trying to have a better mindset, be a better person, be a better son, a better brother, a better grandson, for example, and in lots of other ways. And trying in general to be happier with myself and who I am and the person that I am. So nowadays, what does my personal development work look like? What do I do to continue to develop now, 8.5 years later? I still read books all the time. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I still love reading personal development books. At the moment, I'm rereading one of my favorites. So I'm reading one of my favorites again. And that book is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Another extremely famous and well-known book. This book specifically has helped me to better understand others and to better empathize with other people. Nowadays, I also listen to audiobooks. As well as reading physical books, which is my preference, I also listen to audiobooks because I can listen to them when I'm cooking, when I'm walking, on public transport, and so on. I still listen to podcasts most days as well. Less than I used to in the past because I prioritize at the moment audiobooks or being in silence sometimes to think through problems or think through things for my business as well. And I also meditate most days. Not every day, but I try to meditate most days. Only for 5 minutes in the morning after my exercise, but I still try to meditate. And that's another thing that I do, exercise. This is a key part of personal development. People sometimes don't include this, but exercise and doing regular exercise has positive benefits not only on how you look, but in so many areas of your life. Another thing I do is to journal every week. I write in my journal and try to spend at least an hour straight writing in my journal. So I spend at least an hour uninterrupted writing in my journal. This helps me to understand myself better and to release any emotions that I have tied up in my body. And the final thing I do that's related to personal development is waking up every day at 4:30. So that's 4:30 in the morning. This is an important part for me of practicing and strengthening my discipline, especially on difficult days when I really don't want to get up at that time. So I've told you about my personal development journey, but why do I think personal development is so important? For me, personally, I believe personal development is what life is about. Doing personal development work, trying to improve every day, this is what life is about. Trying to get better every single day so that you reach the end of your life and you've made lots of progress in the areas that are important to you. This doesn't mean it's going to be the same for everyone, but that's why I think personal development is so important. It's not easy, not at all. In fact, I think it's the hardest work any of us will do in our lives. You're going to make tons of mistakes if you start with personal development, and there are going to be days when you feel like you're not improving at all, or actually that you're getting worse. But this is just part of the process. If you persevere, your life will be better and it will get better. Because what's the alternative as well? The alternative would be never trying to improve your life. And I don't think that would be good at all. In fact, I think that would be very sad. So how can you start with personal development? And how can you try to actively improve yourself? There's an endless number of ways that you could do this. And it will be different for everyone because, as I said, everyone has different priorities and different things that they're trying to improve. But a 3-step process that you could follow to start with personal development is step 1, decide what area of life you most want to improve. So what area of your life is the area that you most want to improve? This could be your health or your personal relationships, your romantic relationship, your discipline, so on. So choose one area. Step 2, decide one thing that you can start doing today to improve that area of your life. So not one thing that you hope somebody else will do, but one thing that you can start doing today. Step 3, start doing that thing. Don't wait until next week. Don't wait until the new year. Start doing it today. Some examples. If the area you want to improve is your health, you might start going to the gym 3 times a week. If the area you want to improve is to be a better family member, you might focus from now on to better listen to other people and listen more consciously to other people. If the area you want to improve is discipline, that might involve not touching your phone while working and being disciplined to focus on your work. As I said, decide what's important to you and then start doing it as soon as possible. Start making these changes as soon as possible. So that's the end of this episode about personal development. I hope you found it very interesting. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Gracias por escuchar mi diario de Inglés Británico. Si vives en el Reino Unido y sientes que tu inglés te está frenando profesionalmente, te invito a hacer una evaluación de fluidez gratuita conmigo. En esta sesión veo cómo hablas inglés ahora, identifico qué te está bloqueando y te explico qué necesitas trabajar para hablar con más claridad y confianza. No es una clase, es un diagnóstico claro de tu inglés hablado. Reserva tu evaluación ahora a través del link en la descripción del episodio. Gracias y nos vemos pronto. Bye.